It's so painful to see my country fall to pieces. I left the UK. I left London specifically because I could foresee that the country was just going in the wrong direction. And I have to say, I've never been happier leaving that place. There are, of course, pros and cons, and I don't just want to talk about all the negative things. I will also talk about some of the positives. But in general, I am watching my city burn to shreds. Crime on the streets is worse than ever. I mean, my own family, right, was robbed. My dad's car was robbed out of his house driveway. His lovely watch was stolen out of the gym locker room. My car was broken into and they robbed a bunch of shit. They robbed $400 worth of stuff. They tried to use my bank cards. I then went to the police. The police went through this whole process, then asked me if I wanted to press charges. And then I'd have to be flying back and forth to London to attend court. So I chose not to because that's just going to be a lot of work on my end. I'd spend more money on flights going back to London trying to press charges on two idiots than it's worth it. So seeing that country fall to shreds is a real disappointment of mine. And, you know, I'm lucky that I could foresee this problem and I wanted to become a digital nomad because I want to be able to hop around different parts of the planet and depending on where the opportunity lies. Things change, right? Like, look how expensive Miami got. I did move to Miami 2 years ago now, in 2022, about a year and a half ago. And I love Miami, but it was too much of a crazy party atmosphere. It became so expensive that you just lost value for money. It's just outrageously expensive. And that isn't the part that really pushes me away from it because I'm willing to pay for good experiences. The part that pushed me away was that it's the quality of the women. It's just like, okay, fine, they're hot, but you're not going to find a wife in Miami. They're fucked up, these girls. They're just good for fun. I have found some nice girls, but I'm just like, well, no point marrying you. If I marry you, I'd have to get a prenup done. And I've spoken about this in the past. And it just felt like it wasn't the right place to actually settle down and start having children. So that's why I left Miami. And now I found my nimble self coming here to Bucharest to see if I could build a life here. And I absolutely love it, by the way. I absolutely love Romania. I could really see why Andrew Tate decided to move it, although he's having a hell of a lot of legal problems, which I'm not too sure that he's going to be clear of anytime soon. So he's got his own issues, and sometimes you want to stay out of the limelight, especially when you have a big mouth like he does. I'd much rather be a free man walking down the streets here, being able to go anywhere I want. I would quite like his level of status, I have to admit, because definitely when he walks into a bar, everyone turns around and knows who he is. So that could be quite cool at times. But I guess that's just like a stupid ego thing that you desire having status. It's definitely ego getting in the way and trying to eat up your more spiritual feelings and thoughts. But leaving the UK was one of the best things I'd done. I mean, the place is just absolutely crumbling. And I had a lot of problems there. I was just pissed off with the prices in the UK. The weather is absolutely terrible. The weather is terrible in the UK. It's like, hold on a second. Let me get this straight, right? You're telling me you got to pay 50% plus on taxes, almost 60%. The girls have terrible attitudes, right? In general, British women are ugly. I would say that hands down. In general, I'm saying. There are obviously beautiful girls in London. Obviously there is. But your everyday chick, right? In general, on the street, the quality is so low. So it's like, I've got shit weather, I've got ugly girls, I've got high taxes, I've got expensive prices, and I've got a culture that basically just sits around getting pissed all day, right? Just drinks alcohol. That's literally British culture. Maybe a cup of tea once in a while, but it's a culture that just loves getting drunk. And if you love getting drunk, there's a different place to go to every single night because there's always someone drunk in the UK in some pub somewhere, right? So that's always there for you. And there's a massive drug problem, especially cocaine. People in London love cocaine to escape their shitty lives that they're indulged in. They've got to drink a hell of a lot of alcohol and sniff a bunch of coke to escape their ridiculous, crappy lives. And it's not the case for everyone, obviously. I'm making generalizations here. Some people live really wonderful lives in London. They have a nice apartment in Notting Hill and they don't drink and they go to this great gym and they pay a shitload of money for it. And what I'm saying is that I don't think that the value for money is there anymore. Because you walk down the street, I'm not walking down the street with this watch in London. I'm getting robbed. Robbed by 5 men with hoods on with knives. And there's no police protection. So that's why I was like, I got to get the fuck out of this place. Like, I am completely not protected. Now, the streets of Bucharest are extremely safe. Probably as safe as Dubai. I guess Dubai is one of the safest places on the planet. But Bucharest is also extremely safe. So, now I'm somewhere safe, reasonable prices, really hot chicks. The weather's better here than it is in the UK. It's definitely better because the sun actually comes out, right? And the UK is an island, and there's constantly cloud formations above the UK, so it's always going to be cloudy. There's 70% doom and gloom. So, I'm really glad I got out of that madness. It just wasn't for me. Like, my family seemed to love it. My father thinks London's the best city in the world, and good for him. That's his opinion, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. I don't want to sit there and argue that all day long. I have my opinions, and I don't love London, and I got out of there, and I just thought the taxes were ridiculous. So I find myself here in Bucharest. I really love my life here. In fact, I'm DJing at a bar tonight called Negroni. If anyone listens to this and they happen to be in Bucharest, then please do feel free to pop along to Negroni. I'll be DJing for about an hour from 12 till 1 or 11 till 12. So that'll be really fun. So I'm actually advancing my DJ career as a creative hobby, which you guys know I absolutely love. And so ultimately next month I'm going to Dubai to see what that's like. But I know Dubai is just going to be some materialistic, pretentious place. Money-hungry scammers and every dodgy crypto fool is going to be in Dubai. And I'm going to meet all sorts of dodgy characters who are all going to just big up the amount of wealth they've got or big up the car they're driving. And you really don't know who you're coming across. So it's a very materialistic place. But I'm trying to go there with an open mind and being not too judgmental, even though those are my initial judgments. I have been there many times. I'm going to see whether I'm going to enjoy my time in Dubai. But ultimately, being a digital nomad, I'm so glad that I can foresee that I wanted to jump around and be in different places depending on my situation, which is exactly what I'm doing now. I'm nimble enough to be able to change my environment and to, get a residency somewhere else and to attempt to get a passport and to find a beautiful woman in anywhere, anywhere that I could potentially find her. And Bucharest seems to be a great place to find beautiful, lovely, family-orientated, loyal women. So anyway, that was my perspective on difficulties of life in the UK. And most millionaires are leaving. Most people are leaving. Most people are sick of paying those taxes. Most people are just getting the fuck out of there. And I don't blame them at all. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made.